We're maybe gonna find out pretty soon.
So, guys, in an interview on Paul Italia's channel, he asked Devon if he's going to face Dave Chaffee at any point in time and how that match would go. And basically, this is what he said right here.
With you in a match against Dave Chaffee today?
We're maybe gonna find out pretty soon.
Ooh.
So he didn't give an exact answer. Now, I watched the whole entire interview, but he said it's likely, and he also said that he would crush Dave. He said that he's in a lot stronger of a shape than when he faced Dave back in 2018 in the WAL. He said that that was only 1 year after he retired from his military career, and now he's been training almost 5 or 6 years solely for arm wrestling professionally, and he says that he's a lot stronger, so he believes that he will beat Dave. That's what he said in that interview. Now, I'll put the link in the description so you can watch that whole video, but myself personally, I think that he'll be able to take Dave's wrist a lot easier than he did in the WAL. Now, in order for him to beat Dave back then, it took literally everything he had. I mean, he was manipulating the setup for, literally, let's see, from 3 minutes all the way to 5. I mean, he's manipulating the setup for like 2 minutes, taking fouls, trying to gas Dave out, and this is before even the first round. And then he barely got the stop in the first round, if you guys remember. And he had to resort to pretty ugly King's move. And people were saying that if the rule set was different, Devon would have lost this match for sure. Now, once again, you see that as a pretty serious King's move. He had to dip down all the way into, and on those long WAL pads where there's a lot of room to go backwards as well. But it got easier after that, but still all these matches ended up being pretty grueling. Like, you can see how hard Devon is trying just to get in that King's move position, and Dave ends up getting the win there, tugs on him, and they had some beef going into this match. I remember the trash talk before the match where they had a video where it was Neil Pickup, Michael Todd, Devon, and Dave, and they were all around a table kind of talking over the match, and that it was very heated. But I honestly think that Devon would beat Dave Chaffee more convincingly now if this match were to happen some point in this year, later in this year after Gennady, than back then, just due to the fact that I believe, like he said, he's been training more dedicated for arm wrestling. You see that he's had 5 or 6 years as a professional arm wrestler with his sole goal as, being the best arm wrestler he can. And I just think that his rise and pronation and hand is going to be strong enough to where he gets a stop on Dave, not as low as he did in 2018, but more in tight. Maybe he'll get pushed to the side a little bit, but I still think that he'll be in a much tighter position and be able to win it a lot more clean than he did against Dave back then. And in that same interview, he was asked by Paul Italia whether he thinks he's going to dominate Dave or it'll be a war. And Devon said, "Oh, I think it'll be a war." And then he said, "I'm not sure. I just think I'm going to beat him." He didn't go into specifics on how he's going to beat him, but he did say for sure in that interview that he feels a lot stronger, which I believe as well. So who do you guys think would win that if that were to happen potentially after Gennady match? Now, we want to see Devon beat Gennady. Otherwise, all these potential match options kind of seem less appealing. Like if Devon loses to Gennady, then it's less appealing to see him against Saplankov or Dave Chaffee, because then we want to see what Gennady can do. So that's kind of the thing about rankings and stuff like that. One match can alter the course of the rankings a lot. So it's just kind of, it goes event by event, match by match. But I think Jerry has to be mentioned in this conversation as well in terms of the top 3 guys in North America, being Devon, Dave, and Jerry. Now, how that goes, who is first, that can be up for debate, or hopefully there'll be a super match between Jerry and Devon as well at some point to see what happens there. But who do you guys think is number 1 in North America, and who do you guys think would win, Devon or Dave Chaffee? This is the question I'm curious about.